Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a Facebook ads campaign designed to generate leads for a landscaping business. Now, you might run an agency that specializes in the trades and services niche. You may be a landscaper. You may just have an interest in how to set these things up. So I'm going to take you through step by step. Now, I do use some third-party platforms to generate ad copy and to generate royalty-free stock images. And that's quite valuable, especially if you don't have the ability or the tools necessary to capture high quality photos or video. So that's something quite handy. As far as the targeting goes, you can just swap that out and it will work for any business across almost any industry that can generate leads online. So let's dive in. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to business.facebook.com. If you haven't set up a business manager yet, you'll go through the steps, go through the process. You'll just need to verify your account, add some details, and then add a payment method there as well. And then you'll be able to set up an ad account. So what we're going to do from there is come into the ads manager. Now, this is a relatively new ad account. I've only run just under $400 through this. But we're seeing some pretty good results so far. So I'm going to show you how to set up ad campaign for your landscaping business. So when you have a campaign objective, you have a variety of options you can choose from, and each kind of has their own sort of permutations that split off into different ways you can set up and manage a campaign. For this particular example, we're going to go with traffic. Now, this is predicated on an understanding that you have a website set up and that you have on your website a way for your customers to reach you. So we're going to go traffic, continue. Now there's so many different options that you have when you're setting up a Facebook ads campaign. So I'm going to keep this just to doing lead gen for the landscaping business. So give your campaign a name. You don't want to change any of these options just yet. Not for this campaign anyway. So we'll leave A/B testing off. We're not going to do anything with the Advantage campaign budget. So then you have, this is your campaign level. So there's 3 levels. You have campaign level, ad set level, then ad level. So we're going to go into the ad set. So we'll call it ad set 1, landscaping. So we're going to want to send them to a website. Whatever your website is, you'll add that in later. And for this particular one, we're going to want to maximize the number of link clicks. You have the option to maximize the number of landing page views, and the difference is link clicks means that Facebook will show your ad to people that are more likely to click on the link. Now, the reason I think it's better to run this as link clicks rather than landing page views, a landing page view is when someone lets your landing page loads, they see the actual page, is because these are cheaper. So if we can lock our targeting and our creative in, we are going to see landing page views. And I generally see these much cheaper than if I start with landing page views, because you may get your targeting or your creative a little bit off. And then you might see landing page views of $5, $10, and that's just too much to getting cold traffic to your website. So that's why we go with this. Now we don't need to change any options there. Dynamic creative, we're not going to worry about at this stage. Now, you can start with $20 a day. The way this is going to work, your budget is going to dictate how quickly we gather the data to know whether this is a good ad set or not. So we can start at 10 or you can start at 20. It's up to you when you're budgeting. It has a direct correlation with how many clicks you get. So if you see over here, you can see link clicks and reach. So if I change that from 10 to 20, you see that doubles, right? So you're reaching twice as many people, therefore you're getting twice as many clicks, therefore you'll know twice as fast if this is going to work. Always want to run these campaigns for at least 3 days because you need the machine learning and AI that Facebook have to do all the heavy lifting for you, okay? So locations. Now I'm based in Sydney, Australia. So I'm going to set this to Sydney. But I'm also going to set that to 20 kilometers within Sydney, because we don't want to be traveling too far. This is a service-based business. We don't want to be sending them to whoop whoop. So we'll pop this in there at 20 Ks. There we go. Now, I'm actually based in Sydney City, so if we go in, oh man, that's zooming in and out. All right, so let's zoom in. So I'm based in the city, so I'm in a pretty good spot to have that radius there. But the radius is generally going to be around what your location is, okay? And depending on where you want to advertise. So I'm assuming you're going to want to advertise around where you live. However, let's say, for example, you live 20 kilometers away from the more affluent areas, then you would want to put that radius around those more affluent areas if you want to get those more affluent jobs. Make sense? Now, down here, I don't want to use Advantage Plus, Audience Plus. A lot of the time, what Facebook will do, it's a business designed to make money. Now, if they can make you money and make them money, perfect. But there's some of these options in here that are designed to benefit them rather than benefit you. You'll still get some results, but they're not going to be the greatest results. So I usually go to switch options just because I like to have a little bit more control. Now, when we come down here, for the purposes of this particular ad, I'm going to change the age. I reckon someone landscaping, let's say they're going to be 25 upwards. And let's say 25 to 60, I've always found is a good range because a lot of the 60-year-olds will still be working. They'll still have that cash flow coming in. So you're not going to be dealing with, retirees who are on a pension, stuff like that, which allows you to get higher value jobs. All genders, sure, 2023, why not? Detailed targeting. So for this particular one, we're just going to type in landscaping. But we're going to do it as an interest. So what that's going to do, Facebook have these things on sites called pixels, and they are all over the internet. So they know when someone leaves Facebook and looks at a site that has landscaping related information on it, they can even go there from Google, and that will feed the information back to Facebook. That's how they collect all this data. Far more to it than that, but that's a snapshot. So we can just go gardening, landscaping/gardening. So now that's done, that's given us an audience of 500,000 to just over 500,000. We're going to get 16 to 55 link clicks, and we're going to get up to 1.8k reach, which I'm cool with. So then we're going to want to go and set up our ad. So you should have a Facebook page set up. If not, you can go in here. I think you can create one from in here if you don't have one. But you should have a Facebook page by this point if you're running a business. If not, set up a Facebook page, link it to your account, and you can come back in here and link it up. So I have a couple of pages related to some marketing work that I do. So we'll run this from 20XX Digital. And you can also link it to your Instagram account as well. Hopefully you have that stuff linked up. If not, there's plenty of tutorials out there how to link your Instagram account with your Facebook page. You do it from within the app. So now we're going to go create ad. And we're just going to go single image or video on this one. Now, if you don't have creative, that's totally fine. We can use stock photos. So one example that we can use is we can go to pexels.com. And we can type in landscaping, for example. You can take any of these shots. If you don't have any of your own, I mean, it's 2023. The phone cameras are pretty good these days. You should be able to get a good shot of a good job that you've done. Other types of creative that will work well would be testimonial-based creative. So you could have a couple of videos and you could upload them and have them run back to back. So we'll go back in here. What I'm going to do for the purposes of this tutorial, let's type in landscape and design. Nah, it's not very good, is it? Let's go with that. So just click that. It's a free download. We only need a small size. It's only going to be running across Facebook. So we'll download that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go add media, add image. Now one interesting thing that you can do they used to have the option that you could search for stock images. All right, can't see that anymore. So what we're going to do is we're going to upload our image. That's it. All right, so it said that's a little small, so we can just download a higher resolution copy. Oh yeah, because that's 426. All right, so we'll grab the second one and we'll just replace that. So if you do get any notifications there or warnings, just go back and grab another one. Easy. So let's go next. Now this isn't going to be too important because we're not going to be using all of the placements, which we'll go through shortly. So we'll just go next, and we'll just go done. We're only going to be wanting to run this in the Facebook feed. So what we're going to do is we're going to alter where this is running. So this may be back under ad set. Yeah. So we want to go to placements. This is in the way, isn't it? So we're going to go edit under placements and we click manual placements. This is in the ad set. So I should have done this earlier, but we'll go back to it. So what we're going to do, we're going to take off audience network because that's shit. We're going to take off messenger. We don't want that. We're going to unclick, make sure that is not clicked. Stories and reels, unclick that, unclick that. Make sure none of these are clicked apart from feeds. Then we want to click that arrow and we want to take out marketplace, video feeds, right column, Instagram Explorer. These are just all shit places that don't have people's attention. And people aren't used to clicking on ads in these environments. Now, I come from working with some global advertising agencies. They will run these, but they're working with clients that have budgets upwards of, they can spend $10,000 to $20,000 a day on Facebook. They have such large budgets. So don't do any of that. Instagram feed, Facebook feed is all we want. I'll pull myself back over here. Now come back down to the ad. All right, so we've got our creative. That's how it's going to look. Now, generally, I'd recommend running 3 different types of creative. But what we're going to do first is we're going to set up the ad text. Now, one thing that we can do, if we're not sure about how to write the ad copy, come over here. We go to the Facebook ads library. So just to show you how to get there, type in ads library, Facebook. Comes over here to the ad library. So what we did was I just typed in landscaping and then I hit enter. So you can see there's 1900 results in Australia here. So I'm just going to close that window because I already have it open over here. Now, to be honest, a lot of these guys are using really shitty ad copy. There's nothing here that really jumps out. But if your targeting is good and your offer's good, it's not that important. And we can see that, all right, that's a new ad. Started running on the 12th of August, so we're on the 2nd of September now. So anything that's been running for longer than 2 weeks, I would generally look at and say, yeah, that's working well. So all this stuff's working well for these guys. Go back, that's the 27th of August, 16th of July, and that's active. So these ads are working well. We know that there's over 1,900 results for ads just in Australia. If I can do, it's only country only. Over 1,900 ads in Australia that are running under landscaping. That tells you that there's massive money to be made here, especially because, look, this is active. That's been running since... Whoa. I'll click on the wrong ad there. All right, so you can see that some of these ads have been running for a long time. Look, this one started running on the 1st of March. The page is still loading and bringing up more results. And that's still active, right? Now you can also go into, let's use this one, see ad details, and have a little bit better look at it. Interesting, it's not really a landscaping ad, so I'm not sure why that's ended up there. DIY landscape design course. These are people that are related to landscaping. This is probably a better example. 16th of July, that's been running since. Let's go ad details. And this is a good way to get an idea of what the competition is doing out there. They're running a carousel ad. You don't need to worry about that. Anyway, this will give you an idea of what sort of ad copy is going to work. But I've made this even easier. I went into ChatGPT and I said, can you write me the ad copy for a Facebook ad for a landscaping business? It needs to motivate to book a quote for an expensive project and position me as the best, most expert and reliable operator. So now ChatGPT, which has access to everything that's ever been written, has now taken that information and it's spat out this for us. So let's have a quick read of this. Transform your dream landscape into reality. Inspiring backyard. There we go. So you've got to edit some elements in here as well. So let's just take that. And we'll pop that in the ad. That's how easy this is. Now make sure that you edit these details that are in there, because ChatGPT doesn't know what your specific details are. You don't need to have your landscaping logo in there. I'm not sure why it thinks that you can even do that. And then you can change this to whatever you think is most relevant to your business. So get quotes, usually a good one. Like if you put in your ad that you do free quotes, always good to have your point of difference in there towards the top of the ad, because when we look at the ad previews, let's just go on landscaping.com. I've put that in the wrong spot. So don't go description. We want primary text is where you want to paste that information. Excuse me, because then that is going to show it there rather than down the bottom of the ad. So be sure that when you have, so you've come through, we've put in our creative. The next thing that we do is add our primary text. We don't really want any of this Advantage Creative Plus stuff happening. Like if it's making any decisions for us, I just turn them off. So let's make some of these edits. So let's say 27 years. I don't know how long you've been doing this for. So I'm just going to type website below because we're going to add the website description in there. And just make sure you update any of these placeholders that ChatGPT has given you. Pop in your website. Display link, not as important, doesn't really matter. If you want to get calls directly from the ad, you can put in a phone number. I believe that we've selected the language is only going to be English. So the language selections over here. Yeah, so languages, always change all languages to English. Then we don't need to worry about having translations. Also, it's probably going to be difficult if you book a quote, and this is translated the ad, for someone who doesn't speak English, and then you go to their house and you can't communicate with them or provide the quote. So, yeah, probably avoid that. So for headline here, that's going to show up there. That chat with us, that's pretty average. We can take the first line and see how that looks. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks really good. Now, this is a little bit more advanced. You should have a Facebook pixel on your site. If you don't, I'd probably recommend looking up how to add it. It's not overly difficult. Or you could reach out to me and I can have someone from my team or even myself, we could pop that in for you. It'd probably take me less than 5 minutes. Yeah, absolutely necessary to have your tracking set up, because otherwise your website can't feed the information back to Facebook to tell it that your ads are working or not and what audiences and segments are going to perform best. Make sense? So let's go just by naming stuff. I apologize, I haven't done this in a sequential sort of order. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to duplicate our ad into the same campaign, and we're going to put 2 copies in it, which will give us 3 variations of the ad. So this is how we're going to split test the actual creative. So you just want to add another type of photo. Landscaper. Let's type in backyard renovation. Retaining wall, perhaps. So these all look really good, but they're from paid sites. All right, let's check another stock site, which is Unsplash. Let's check out landscaping. I think that's better. So we're going to download the medium size. And now let's see if there's any other ones here. Yep, I think that's good. And obviously, I'm not a landscaper, so you'll know your business much better than me. You can go through these photos and what you think resonates best with your customers, or if you have some amazing photos of work you've done, use that. It's exactly how you want to do it. All right, so we're going to go back over to our ads. So we'll go dream into reality, and let's call that 1. And you can go about this anyway, the way that I'm just kind of going through and naming them. You don't have to do it exactly this way. You just need to make sure you have all the right information there. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into ad number 2, and we're going to change the creative. So go edit media, add media. So now we're going to upload these last two files. Just move me out of the way and click next. Next again, and then done. So what we're doing now is we're split testing the actual creative. So you only want to split test one element at a time. Now we'll jump into the third one, and we're going to go back down to edit media. I've scrolled past it. There we go. Edit media. Back up here to add media. And we're going to put that in there. Done. Pop me back over here. All right, so the creative, the actual creative here is, this is still important, but this is more important because it's the first thing that's going to catch the eye. Then you need to make sure that your ad copy is also good. Oh, excuse me. So now we've got that. What we're going to do is we're going to take our ad set 1, and we're going to make 2 copies of that. Existing campaign, this is the campaign we're working in, duplicate. So now what we've done is we've taken those 3 ads and the ad set and we've copied them over. So we don't have to build them again, which takes way too long. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the ad set and we're going to change it to ad set 2. I'm going to take that out and we're going to add in a different type of targeting. So we'll take that out. Now let's go. Now one thing you can do actually, excuse me, if you do have that in there, you can go over here and go suggestions. Now you want to be aware of who you're advertising to. You don't want to be advertising to someone whose job title is landscape gardener. No point, right? So you want to be looking more for interests. All right, so I don't think much about those suggestions. What we can do is go home improvement. If I can spell that right. Home improvement, home and garden. Huge audience size. So home improvement. It's always important to name your stuff so that when you are looking at your results, it's easy to match that stuff up. So that's it. It's ad set 2 done. Now let's go to ad set 3. And we're going to call it ad set 3. And now we go back down to the targeting again, take that out, and let's type in home improvement, home and garden, but just see what the suggestions are that come up here. So you can select whatever you think works best with your business. I think probably not renovation, but home and garden. I think that's a good one. So we'll get rid of home improvement and we've got home and garden. Now we're naming it the name of the ad set because that's what we're testing here. So we've got all our ads, everything else is set up. Never ever click reach because what that's going to do is just going to pump your ads out to people that are kind of half relevant but not really relevant so Facebook can make more money. Yeah, don't do that. All right, so just to double check everything. Yep, I'm happy with that as a basic setup. So then the next thing we do is hit publish. Now that will instantly start running as soon as it's approved. So it goes through an approval process to make sure that everything you've written in the ad doesn't violate any policies. What I'm going to do for now is I'm going to go back into my campaigns. I didn't name my traffic campaign, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to name that landscaping. Landscaping tutorial, and hit enter. Now this on-off switch here, I'm going to switch it to off because I'm not a landscaper, so I don't need these leads. So once that's approved, that will start running. Now, that's how you set it up. That will deliver you clicks to your ad, clicks to your site. I'm not gonna go into optimization now because that's a whole different kettle of fish, and that involves taking all of the data that you've got here once you've been running it for at least 3 days, and then looking at where your clicks are coming from, where your landing page views are coming from, where your actual conversions are coming from as well. So these campaigns I've got here, they're link clicks as well, right? So you generally want to get one landing page view for every 5 to 10 clicks. If you're not getting any landing page views within 5 to 10 clicks, as an average, probably your targeting or your offer or your creative is not working. Usually it's going to be happening at the front end. So what that means is your click-through rate. Let me bring that in. Don't have that. Performance and clicks. So you can see my ads get really high CTRs. General CTRs are anywhere from 0.5 to 1%. So I've got 3 to 4 times that, sometimes 8 times that. But I know what I'm doing. So if you want to organize any coaching with me to set this stuff up, you're more than welcome to reach out to me, and we can discuss that. But for the time being, set that ad up, get the clicks coming through. I think this is the best, most cost-effective way for you to test if something's going to work, because look at this. We're getting link clicks for 41 to 56 cents. My target audience in these is tier 1 countries as well. So it's Australia, Canada, United States, and United Kingdom. And there's all other types of data that you can analyze to see how well it's working. But if you're making more money than you're spending, then your ads are working. That's the basics of it. Then we can go into optimization. So that's something I'd recommend booking a session with me to go over your data. But for the time being, that's the campaign done. That's good to go. That is how you will make money using Facebook ads. All right, cheers.